Recording. Press play.
Oh, welcome to another. Just joking.
Excuse you. Cut. Restart. Oh my god. Welcome to an episode of Kate and Isaiah Living Large. I'm Isaiah.
And I'm Kate.
And on this episode, besides Caitlin messing up our start, we are going to talk about stress and falling backwards and all that fun stuff and going into old habits.
Yeah. So actually, why don't I announce it?
Okay. Why don't you announce it?
Sometimes when you are pushed to your absolute limit, you revert and you adopt some of those old habits that may have led to your downfall in the first place. And I'm going to be full disclosure honest here. In the last couple of weeks, that has been me.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know why I'm ASMR voicing it, but yeah. And somebody's listening to this going, that is not ASMR, lady. You are not calming.
You're more stressing.
Yeah.
But before we get into our topic, what's going on? When this comes out, you'll just come back from your comedy festival.
We'll pretend it was all amazing.
It was
pretend amazing. It was all amazing.
It was great.
I went shopping at In Pursuit just before I left and bought a new dress and a new blazer, which I'm super pumped about. So
you were super pumped about, and it was amazing.
And it was amazing. The show was great. James Mullinger and I partied like it was March 11th, our respective birthdays. And, it's great. It was a wonderful time. I say, and more on that. We're recording 3 episodes before the festival, so you have to wait for the actual account of it for a long time. Yeah. I'm sure you're all very sad.
I know, right? But what do you have got coming? You got anything coming up now that you're,
today, in fact, because today will be the 24th. I have a show in Fredericton. I'm going to be hosting a comedy show at Dolan's Pub with a freaking stacked lineup.
I haven't been to Dolan's in forever.
Maybe you should come to this show.
Huh.
Parker McFadgen, and it's his show that he's putting on, but he asked me to host so he can do a real set. Michelle Petite, who is so funny, Arif Hussein, who's also hilarious, and Kelly Lamrock, who is also hilarious and co-owner of the comedy club in Fredericton.
Oh, you said Arif's gonna be there? Well, then maybe I will go.
He was on that other show you were on at, wasn't he? No,
he wasn't on that one. I see Arif all the time though.
Where do you see? Oh, at the Y. I know where you see Arif.
Yes.
I know everybody's moves. I know what people do.
That's cool. Anything else coming up, or is that you don't have any?
No, I've got a show at Comic Sutra in October. I've got other things they're booking up. I can't remember right now.
Can't talk about them right now.
No, I just don't remember.
No, we're gonna pretend you say, oh, I can't talk about them right now.
More to come.
Oh my goodness, so mysterious.
Yeah.
Big shows. The Netflix special coming anytime now.
Is there a Canadian streaming service?
Yeah, Crave's the Canadian streaming service.
Oh. I'm smart. I thought Crave was where HBO was.
Well, it is. HBO's on Crave, but Crave's the Canadian one. Crave is owned by Bell.
Oh.
Yeah. HBO just happens to be also on it because it's part of Bell.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm smart.
SMRT. Okay, let's talk about our topic.
Yeah. So, without revealing too much detail about the actual specifics of my stress, I have some job-related stress right now, and it will all be good, and it will all be fine, and everybody's fine. But in the short term, I've had the work of more than one person on me, which I am happy to do.
But it becomes a lot more stressful when you got to do 2 jobs instead of 1.
Right. Especially when, all of a sudden you're dealing with the people who are in the upper part of the business, more senior level part of the business. And that is not something you've had to do up to this point in this particular job. And it has been very busy, and knowing that I've also had to take these 4 days off to go away to the comedy festival, I've been working, and plus I already had a busy schedule, and it's unexpected. It was an unexpected situation and timing wise. Again, totally fine. Happy to do it. Happy to help out. All is very, yeah. And I don't like to talk too much about work, but that's been going on. But what it has meant is I've been working a lot of extra hours. And because I still have, actually, I had comedy shows and things like that that I had pre-booked that were hard to cancel because it's pretty rude to do that. I'd like drive to Fredericton one night after work, come back, and then work for till after midnight on something. And it, you know, and you have that feeling like you're never really getting ahead. So the things that have fallen off are the gym.
Yep.
Tried to keep lunches and breakfasts like fairly stable, but then I'd run out of time to eat at work. So then after work, I'd be ravenously hungry.
Yep.
And then I'd go to all the wrong things.
Fair.
Like those gas station trips for chips and dip and stuff that I don't even remember eating that much of, even when I was at my worst, like sometimes. And and this is a real sign for me, and I think I said this on the podcast before, if I order a poutine ever, that's a cry for help.
And you had a poutine, didn't you?
And I had a poutine. I had an A&W poutine.
Oh, yeah.
In the car. Shame eating
A&W poutine. I was gonna say, if it was like smoked poutine, I could like get behind it.
Yeah, that's a culinary delight.
But A&W.
So so I've recognized this pattern of behavior, and it's been about a week and a half that I've been making these not good decisions.
Yeah. So it's good to like that you're recognizing it earlier than you normally would, because like we've talked about before, where like if you like even like a year ago, you probably, I don't know if we would have recognized fully that was happening.
Right. I think it would have just happened. Then all of a sudden we'd be a month in, I'd have gained 20 pounds and I'd be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But I did recognize it right away. And now the trick is that I have to circumnavigate it. And it's kind of good that I'm going to be away for a couple of days and figure that out, which is, traveling and food also has this whole other aspect. But recognizing that is an issue, I'll have to be, even if I'm going to those late night gas station stops, maybe I do buy something slightly less crappy.
Yeah. I mean, stress is such a weird thing. That, and it's good that you recognize that you are feeling that stress.
Yeah.
Because I know that there are times where even I've been super stressed out, and then it's not until a while later that I realized, oh, I was super stressed during that time. Like,
yeah.
So being able to recognize that you're having those feelings is definitely important. When you first started feeling the stress, did you realize you were in that moment, or is it now that it's been a week and you kind of started reflecting on it?
It all kind of happened almost like you know how people get like blackout drunk?
Yeah.
And they turn to that and they're just like, all of a sudden they're like, I don't know what happened, but it almost is like I'm in a haze. And and I think it's because when you get stretched mentally to the limit, and all of a sudden it's like I've dummied a bag of chips.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh no, oh no. And I realize it in the moment. And then that contributes to even more stress, because then you feel shame and guilt and all those other really fun things to feel.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And so yes and no is the answer. Yes, I realize that I'm buying a bag of chips because I'm not an idiot, but I don't recognize that I've done it 3 days in a row. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh dear, that's not good. And luckily I recognized the pattern sooner than typical.
What was the point that made you recognize the pattern?
I think, good question. I think it was waking up one morning and just seeing the bags had piled up.
Okay.
Like
just noticing that, oh, I have eaten 3 bags of chips in the last
3 days. Yeah. In addition to candy and chocolate.
Okay.
Like not great.
No, that's fair. So I know you're going away. Well, you've been away based off of
Yeah,
this.
based on the actual timeline that you're hearing this, I've been away, but for the perspective of reality, I'm going away this week. I'm going away Tuesday morning.
That's right. So based off of you going away, do you have anything that you're going to be doing to try and, well, you'll be at a comedy show, so hopefully that relieves stress, but do you have anything you're trying to do to manage your stress now?
Yeah. So a couple of things happened. One, I got some really positive feedback at the end of last week.
That's good.
That I'm actually functionally doing a good job. So
that goes,
you know what? A reason I could never be an entrepreneur is because I know that I don't need it all the time. And like, if you happen to be my boss and you're listening to this, you don't need to coddle me. But I do once in a while, I need somebody to tell me that I've done a good job. If I've done a good job, I don't need you to lie to me. I need to have feedback, but I recognize that is a thing I need every once in a while.
Okay.
Especially through periods of stress. So I was told that the end of this week, and from and that went a long way, and it changed my outlook because I still have to do a little bit more work this weekend and things like that. Yeah. I'm still behind on stuff because there actually just genuinely aren't enough hours in the day. Fair. And then I'm away. I'm going to bring my laptop. And I'm going to bring my laptop with me so that I can check in every day. And I'm happy to do that just to make sure projects keep moving.
Yeah.
And I'm also, so that's one thing. And I also, I meant to look before this podcast. I'm sure there's a gym in the hotel that I'm staying at.
Probably. I mean, hotel gyms suck, but
it was better. Even if I went in there and walked on a treadmill for 20 minutes or go for a walk outside. Ew. Yeah. Campbellton's a beautiful city. They've got a nice walking track along the water, very close to downtown.
And something about flipping a leaf upside down.
Yeah. And I'll go visit Sam the salmon, make a wish. He's a big salmon structure with a pool in it in the middle of the city. And Campbellton is a city.
Is it a city?
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
it's one of the 8 in New Brunswick.
I did not know it was a city. I thought it was a town.
Yep, nope. Never turn a maple leaf upside down. And so, those are things. So I a little break will do because then I'll be back to busy when I come back to work. But now that I'm owning it more and it's not that transition period, I feel like it'll be a little bit better. It's not going to make the time any different.
Yeah, no, but I mean, knowing it, seeing it is a huge step, right? That's especially in the quick turnaround of a week. Knowing it and seeing it is huge, right?
Yeah.
Because like I said, last year probably would have been a month and would have been oh shoot, and then the years prior it may have been even longer, right?
Yeah. So recognizing it, and if I can maintain status quo,
yeah,
that'll be a success in the next few weeks, and then I can hit the ground running again.
Yeah.
So what about you? How do you handle stressful situations? You went through a period of stress this year.
I did.
It was not an easy time for you. It was a different kind of stress because it was more slow down stress as opposed to hurry up and go stress.
True. I mean, my stress relief is video games. I do a lot. It's kind of crazy to think about, but when I'm feeling the most stressed, it's when I play the most video games. It's my coping mechanism, and I will play the most stressful video games ever. But it relieves my anxiety and my stress that way.
So that's a lot of sitting. How do you compensate for that to keep yourself fed well and moving and things like that?
I think the main thing, and in years prior, I wouldn't even thought about it. I would bought bottles of pop and chips and would have just vegged. But I think the main things are just thinking about maintaining, making sure that I'm eating regularly and making sure I'm eating properly. But then intermingling that with going out and going for a walk and doing things like that. So I think that's kind of been my key to trying to maintain when I'm stressed. Again, play video games, relieve my stress, but also understand that I need to go out and have a walk, go and breathe the fresh air for a bit, that kind of thing.
Sleep is key for me too. And that was the other thing that happened in the last weekend is, I don't think I told you this story. I had a situation where I had a comedy show on Saturday night at Wasted Day. Yep. No Jokes Barred, super fun show. And then one of the tribute teams from Wednesday night. They came at the end of the show, and I hung out with them for a couple hours. It was amazing. Had a great time. And then when I left, no keys.
Oh,
And it's like 1:00 in the morning, and the only rainy day in 2 months.
yeah.
Went back to Wasted Day, looked all around, came back, still no keys. Like sat on the front steps of the Sewist, going, "What am I gonna do?" Ended up calling one of the girls on the trivia team. She came back and got me, drove me home, and I tried to wake up some of my neighbors. I didn't want to buzz because it's so obtrusively loud. So I'm like calling and texting different people in the building, and it's completely dark and it's pouring rain. And I'm sitting on my front stoop, and it's now like pushing 2:00 in the morning. I've now been outside in the rain for an hour, and I'm getting kind of like, oh no. And I couldn't afford the lack of sleep. And so finally woke up, finally got a neighbor, let me in after about an hour, and that was fine. But I only slept about 4 hours, and that just set the week off.
That's rough.
In that kind of like level, because I was already stressed. And then my poor mom was like, "How's work going?" And I was like, "It's terrible." And I had like a mini. I was like, "I gotta get out of here. I can't do this." It was very dramatic. And
as you are.
I can be, yeah. And so I went to bed at 8:00 that Sunday night and did catch up on some sleep, but that was the beginning of the week, and just like,
yeah, no, that sucks. Yeah. I hate when I've locked myself out of the house once. So back when it was Halloween, a couple years ago, Halloween, and I don't know where Andrea was. She wasn't home, and I'd gone out, and I tucked my key into, like, I was wearing like a Top Gun costume.
Yeah.
Because, I'm Tom Cruise. But there was no volleyball game. I was really upset. Anyway, I tucked my keys into like the sidearm pouch, thinking, oh, I'll make sure they're in there because I'll remember that they're there. And I will, so that when I'm taking stuff out of my pocket, it doesn't fall on the ground. And so obviously drinking and going out and whatever. And then I get back to the apartment and I go, oh my God, where are my keys? I've lost my keys. And I called my landlord, who lived upstairs at the time, at like 2:30 in the morning.
Oh my God.
To let me in. And I was like, I've lost my keys. And he let me in. I get inside, whatever. I sit down and I go, and I touch my shoulder and there's the key. And I'm like, okay, well then, I think it's bedtime.
I felt equally as good the next morning when they were locked in my car.
They're in your car.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Which I didn't think was possible, which is why I didn't even consider it as a possibility. Because if I had thought that, I would have just called CAA and solved every problem.
It's true.
But turns out my key fob must be losing battery power. So it didn't.
So it didn't register that it was in your.
Correct.
Yeah. Yes. That does happen.
Which is best case scenario in the long run, because it wasn't like I left an invitation to steal my car on the street. Like, here's the keys. Yeah.
Yeah. So in your car, interesting.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great 24 hours.
I know, right. Do you have a spare set of keys to get into your car?
Yeah, at the house.
Okay, good. Yeah, that would be. Yeah, no. The start of stress. And then all the way through the week, eh?
Yeah. But anyway, it's
all culminating in Come From Away.
Tomorrow will be, Come From Away. Really, that's why I pretty much sobbed throughout the entirety of Come From Away. Not just because I'm an emotional, dramatic wreck.
But the week is a new week.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good going into it, actually. And yeah, no, it should be good.
All right. Well, I think we'll wrap this up here.
That's great.
Where can people find us on the internet?
You can find us at Kate and Isaiah Living Large on Facebook and Instagram. What about you, Isaiah?
At Maritime Brews on all the social medias. Of course, we still have the Buy Me a Coffee going on. And if you're listening to us on wherever you listen to your podcast, we can like, share, subscribe over there. Hop on over to YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, if you can like, share, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff, much appreciated. And until next week. Bye.